Good morning, guys. Today we're going to be looking at how to write a critical evaluation of a text. AQA students, this is tested in question 4, paper 1, as you know. It's worth 20 marks. That's 25% of your entire paper, language paper 1. Excel students, you tested on this question in your paper 1 as well as in paper 2. Now, you might have already learned that when you do a critical evaluation of an extract or of a particular part of an extract, you need to demonstrate your own viewpoint and your own feelings about how the writer has presented something. So the question is, how do we answer this question in the exam? You need, as I said to you just now, to present your own viewpoint. It's a very personal response to the text, right? So it's not how the writer feels, it's how you feel about what the writer has done. And we'll look at an example just now. And in order to do this, you have to talk about the writer's methods that are used, the writer's techniques that are used in creating the meanings that he creates that makes you feel a particular feeling or viewpoint or perspective. Okay? Furthermore, guys, what's really important in this question is for you to show how well the writer has created this effect, how well the writer has created these particular meanings. Okay, so again, to just remind you, it's your viewpoint. You've got to think very carefully about what you think about what is written and how it has created certain meanings. This, you've got to really look for all the devices that he uses, and these devices or these techniques are both your linguistic as well as your structural devices and techniques. And remember, your writer's methods and techniques have to be explained to show how well the writer has created that particular meaning. Now let's have a look at this question. I'm going to show you a little extract just now. And in this question, this is what is asked. A student having read this part of the text says, in this extract, Catherine feels excitement and curiosity when she sees the chest. To what extent do you agree with the statement? Or, in Excel, they may ask you to evaluate the statement. Okay, same thing. It's the same skills you're being tested on. In your response, you could consider your own impressions of the character and her reactions. You must evaluate, or you could evaluate, how the writer conveys these reactions, the character's reactions, and of course, you've got to give your references. Now, guys, when they say to you, in your response, you could, please replace the word could with must. You must evaluate. You must give your own impressions and viewpoints. You must talk about the writer's methods, remember. Okay? Now, here's the extract. I'm going to read the extract to you. If you can follow on your computer screen or on your phone, I'm going to read it. And as I'm reading, see if you can spot some of the evidence in this part of the extract that tells you that Catherine is feeling both excitement and curiosity when she sees the chest. Okay, let's go. The sight of it made her start, and, forgetting everything else, she stood gazing on it in motionless wonder while these thoughts crossed her. This is strange indeed. I did not expect to see such a sight as this. An immense, heavy chest, what can it hold? Why should it be placed here? Pushed back too, as if meant to be out of sight. I will look into it. Cost me what it may, I will look into it, and directly too, by daylight. If I stay till evening, my candle may go out, she says. She advanced and examined it closely. It was made out of cedar, curiously inlaid with some darker wood. So what must a top-level response do? And this is from your mark scheme. You must evaluate critically and in detail the effect on the reader. Meaning, what it actually means in very, very simple words, guys. You've got to analyze in detail, look at how the writer has created these meanings, how always, guys, whether it's a question on structure or a question on language, they always ask you how. How refers to writer's methods. Explain why the writer has done that, and of course, support with evidence. Now let's have a look at this question. So guys, we're looking at this extract that I've just read out to you. Now we're going to look at how do we answer the question. And remember, the question again is, in this extract, Catherine feels excitement and curiosity when she sees the chest. To what extent do you agree with the statement? Or at Excel students, you might be asked the question, evaluate the statement. Now I told you again that we're looking for evidence that suggests that Catherine is feeling both excited and curious. Then when we find the evidence, we need to look for the techniques that the writer has used to create the effects that the writer does and the meanings that the writer does. And you've got to say how well the writer has created curiosity and how well the writer has created excitement. So let's now look at the evidence first. I have the evidence in red font here, as you can see, just so that it's easy for us to reference back to what we're talking about. So in the first instance, it says in the text, the sight of it made her start. Now, if you have a look at the word start means that she gets a bit of shock. Maybe she's surprised. Maybe she's quite in sort of disbelief when she sees it. She's alarmed, right? So that, guys, it is a verb because it's an action. And it is suggesting that she's surprised and she's shocked. Perhaps she's alarmed at what she sees. And this shows that, she is almost also quite curious as a result because it has now engaged her curiosity. It's made her surprised. So naturally, she's wondering, what is this about? Why is this chest here? What is inside the chest, as anyone would normally do, right? It creates that tone of suspense, I would think, as well, because she would obviously be curious to find out what is going on, what's inside this chest. And it says here, the writer says, forgetting everything else, she stood gazing in motionless wonder. Now, if you look at the words forgetting, and if you look at the word gazing, these are verbs ending in ing. So if these are verbs ending in ing, they are called dynamic verbs. Normally, dynamic verbs, like I told you previously, they show continuous action, movement. It is, it's quite overwhelming. It's quite, what's the word? It's going on, it's continuing. Might show different things in different texts. In this case, because she's forgetting everything else and she's continuously gazing at it, it shows that she's quite enchanted by the chest, perhaps. She's mesmerized by the chest. She's intrigued by the chest. So there we go. We've got forgetting and gazing. These are dynamic verbs, suggesting that she's completely enchanted, that she's intrigued. She's probably excited to see what's inside. She might be quite an adventurous girl, okay? And of course, definitely, if she's gazing long and hard at the chest, she's obviously curious as well. So we're answering the question. We're saying, yes, the writer does, in fact, create curiosity and excitement. And the writer does this through the use of the dynamic verb, for example, in this text. Then I want you to have a look at these words. This is strange indeed. I did not expect to see such a sight. So the word strange, guys, as you know, that's an adjective, suggesting some sort of mystery. Again, suggesting curiosity, suggesting something that is unusual, that engages her curiosity, right? And we can then say, yes, we agree, or we think that the writer has done quite an effective job, or has effectively created curiosity and excitement. And the writer does this through the use of the adjective strange, when Catherine says strange indeed. And here again, I've got this here. I've got a bit of an explanation for you. It suggests mystery and curiosity because she is captivated, okay, at the sight of the chest. And it engages the curiosity of the reader as well, because we also become intrigued. Now we're excited to know what's inside this chest. We're curious and intrigued to find out, why the chest is there. What could be in this? Is it some sort of treasure? Because we also realize she is very interested in the chest. Okay, and then of course, our old friend, the rhetorical question, what can it hold? Why should it be placed here? Such an immensely heavy chest. All of these short sentences are, firstly, this is an exclamative, and these are rhetorical questions. Immediately, this creates a sense of mystery and secrecy for the reader as well as Catherine, because we are now curious through Catherine's reaction about the contents of the chest. Okay, and therefore there's a tone and atmosphere of mystery as well as suspense that is created, and we have this kind of expectancy. We're eager and we're enthused to find out what's inside the chest, and this arouses our curiosity, and therefore we can actually say then and make the statement that the writer has effectively created excitement and curiosity in Catherine and in the reader as well when we answer this question. Okay, so here I've got a bit of a sample response that I've written for you. I have taken bits of the analysis we've done in the previous slide and put it together for you as a sample paragraph, one paragraph that you might write about it, but you can write many, of course. Let me read it. I agree that the writer attempts to engage the curiosity of the reader. You could say that, or you must say that, AQA students. EdXL students, you would say, I think that the writer has successfully attempted to create curiosity and engage the reader in the text through the description of Catherine's reaction and enthusiasm when she first spots the chest. Now you can see that I'm really focusing on the statement that they've given us, on the question that they've given us in my very first sentence. The chest has clearly become an intriguing item of furniture, as indicated in her surprised reaction when she stood gazing on its motionless wonder. Also, the use here of the third-person narrative by the writer enables us, the reader, to observe Catherine's reactions as we take on the role of the omniscient observer, which clearly allows us to see her enthusiasm, her fascination, and this engages us as well. Furthermore, the writer's use of the present participle, or you could say the dynamic verb, in gazing, clearly demonstrates her fixation with the chest, also engaging the interest of the reader as we realize how intrigued she is by the sight of the chest. So as you can see, guys, there are a few things you need to mention in your answer. Firstly, you give your viewpoint, your opinion, the reader's opinion, not the writer's opinion, the reader's opinion, right? After you've given your opinion, you've got to find the techniques and the evidence that shows how effectively the writer has created these meanings, and the writer has created the effect of curiosity or excitement. Okay, guys? So, state your viewpoint to recap, right? And you can start off by saying, I agree that the writer has, I think that the writer has successfully, I get the impression that the writer has successfully or effectively created curiosity and excitement. We see clearly that the writer has. Now, guys, these are sentence starters to help you state your viewpoint. You start your paragraph, your 4 paragraphs you've got to write. Every paragraph has to start with one of these sentence starters. Okay? Then, guys, you've got to provide the evidence. You've got to provide, show and name the technique that the writer uses. And these are your linguistic techniques, your structural techniques. You speak about tone and atmosphere. And of course, you support it fully with textual references, which is your evidence. And then you've got to explain. We always explain in all our analysis the effect of the methods that the writer has used. and to create curiosity in this case, or to create excitement in this case. So you've got to explore the effects of the writer's methods on the character, explain the meanings it creates, as well as the impact that it has on the reader. Because remember, paper one, guys, language paper one, it's really about the reader's interpretation, the reader's impressions, what effects are created for the reader. I do hope that you found this lesson useful today, guys. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if there's any specific topic you would like help on, do leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.